What's up guys, Boss here, and in today's video I'm going to be playing some top ladder using one of the strongest decks in the whole meta. So this deck was really popular on ladder at the end of last season. Mega Knight is very good right now because there's a lot of people using Royal Hogs in the Hog Rider, which the Mega Knight is obviously going to do pretty good against. You got the Archer Queen, and she's just so broken, as you guys know, not just on defense but also on offense. With her ability activation can apply so much pressure because she does so much DPS so quickly. Bandit and Ghost are going to be good at pressuring, and then Ram Rider can be used on defense against things like Balloon and the Hog Rider, and then you can counter push with it with the Mega Knight, and then the pushes can be really difficult for your opponent to stop. And then you got the Lightning too, which is going to allow you to break through buildings. I'm currently in the top 500 right now, and I'll try to push up even more. Alright, in a game here against Incase. So usually with this deck you want to make the first starting play, although with this cycle I don't have a Bandit or Ghost in cycle, so I'm fine waiting a little bit. Because cycling E-Spirit first play can be a little risky, because if you play it especially at the bridge, they could activate the King Tower quite easily, which you don't really want, especially at the very beginning of the game. So he's using Mortar Bait, it looks like, with Rascals, and then he probably has the Miner, maybe the, you know, maybe Cannon Cart, a couple different variations of it could be. Mortar's a pretty, I would say, versatile archetype overall, meaning a lot of cards could synergize well with it. So really, until he uses everything, I don't know. He might have Minion Horde too, there's really no way to know. So he's going to go Guards here and Fireball. Okay, so since he's got Fireball, it's pretty unlikely that he has the Minion Horde too. My guess is he might have Cannon Cart or maybe Bats, and if that's the case, that's pretty good for me because my Electro Spirit and the Snowball will get some pretty good value against that. So I'll just set up Mega Knight in the back here, and if he goes for something in the opposite lane, I have my Snowball ready, the Queen, and the Electro Spirit. But it looks like he's just going to set up a defensive border, which I'm fine with. I might just, for this push, let that be. I don't really want a Lightning because I'm only in single elixir, and it could be a little bit of an overcommitment. So I'll just go Electro Spirit here on the Bats. It looks like he's not going to go for Prediction Log or anything, so that's really good. He's going to go Spear Goblins. I don't think that's actually going to activate the King Tower because the Mega Knight is low on hit points. Yeah, I was going to say very close to activating it, but I could tell it was going to die, so I wasn't concerned. I knew it wasn't going to be enough hit points. I even said that I was a little scared still, but I had a feeling it wasn't going to happen, so that's good. So we'll go for a High Queen here, and just playing it high up so he's not able to fireball the tower too. And that Ghost might actually splash the Rascal. Yeah, nice, that's really good. Splash the Rascal behind, and he actually does have a Minion Horde. Wow, I wasn't expecting that, so I will Snowball it so then it's in one shot. And I'm a little surprised he went for that Miner there. That felt a little aggressive, so I'm just setting up Mega Knight in the back, and then I'll definitely go for a Ram Rider. Since we are in double elixir, we should be able to get a nice push going. We'll just go for a Ghost in front, and then maybe go for like a Bandit too, and then I have my Snowball ready if he decides to go for Bats. I don't know if he's going to. Okay, that works too on the Spear Goblins. Mega Knight will, okay, jump on the Miner. So we can just set up another Mega Knight in the back. He's really low on elixir, so I feel like sooner or later we're just going to overwhelm him because you see he has to overspend so much on defense. And when he played that Mortar, I already have a Mega Knight down, so you can see he's just really low in elixir comparison to me. And he's just going to go Rascals again. So I'm just going to go Queen here, and we could get the Snowball ready if he goes for a Minion Horde or Bats. But it looks like he's trying to avoid using his air cards because he knows I have a lot of counters to them. So it's actually pretty smart on his end to do that, I would say. I feel like, again, that was kind of not a good Miner because now I can just ignore it and pressure. And this might finally be the push where we're able to break through. I might even be able to get to another Queen ability here unless he fireballs it, which it looks like, okay, he does, but the fireball doesn't hit the Mega Knight, and I can Lightning here just to hit anything he drops, but I think he gave up. Yeah, that's going to be GG. So not a bad matchup there at all because the Mega Knight is going to get a lot of value. The splash on top of the guards, you know, the Spear Goblins, even the Rascals if the Rascal Girls are close to the Rascal Boy, and that is why the Mega Knight in certain matchups can get so much more value than the P.E.K.K.A. Alright, we found our next game here against Gumi. And we do have Bandit in our starting hand, so we could just go ahead and start with Bandit and see what he wants to do from there. So he's going to have a Goblin Cage. Alright, so Lightning's pretty good against that, especially if you place something else next to it. It'll get a lot of value because it takes out the Cage, then the Brawler, and then you could also hit the Tower or the other unit that they play next to it, and it could be pretty good. Okay, so he does have Lightning for my Queen, so we have to sometimes play the Archer Queen at the bridge, so he's unable to Lightning the Tower or anything else with it. That can actually be a pretty good play when you're against, you know, a deck that has Lightning, be aggressive with the queens at the bridge in the opposite lane, and it can force them to spend a lot of elixir on it, and in some cases they might even lightning, which is a negative trade for them. So right here I'll go queen at the bridge in the opposite lane, and this way if he's using something like golem, he'll have to address the queen, so he can't go for a golem right away. That was actually a nice tornado on his end. He predicted the activation of the queen. I probably could just ignore that Night Witch because I don't even think it's going to get that much damage. Yeah, we're fine. So yeah, this for sure has to be golem if he's using Night Witch, you know, tornado, ice wizard. I think here I'll go for a Mega Knight in front of the bandit just to, you know, pressure, because when you're against something like golem, I feel like especially in single elixir and they're not using a golem first play deck, like when they have cage, you know, it's more of a passive one, you should be applying a lot of pressure, especially when you're using something like bridge spam, just because it prevents them from going in for golem pushes, and they can't even go for one in the first place anyway in single elixir, so it's, you know, pretty good to pressure. And as you can see, it's working out really nicely. I got so much damage on the right lane, and this time I'll wait to see if he wants to tornado first. Okay, he doesn't, so we'll go for the activation. And okay, that's a little unfortunate. The queen was following the ice wizard, but I guess it's fine, although it is a little unfortunate, I have to admit. So bandit here just to pressure, and then, or ghost to pressure, and then snowball to take care of the Night Witch. We might be able to get one shot. Okay, nice, we do. So I'll just go Mega Knight in the back here to set up defense, because he still has to defend the bandit. I don't want to commit too much elixir, so I'm unable to defend the golem push. Although I will go queen, because playing it on defense would be pointless, because he would just lightning it, so I'm not going to do that. And I think, okay, so he goes for cage, that's fine. So just go ahead and activate the queen's ability, I think, to take that out. And maybe try to get like another Mega Knight down, but I might wait until the... Okay, wow, so he goes for another golem. That's really aggressive. I'm surprised he didn't go for it in the back and try to build up a push. I feel like that would have been a little better, but maybe he's confident he can get damage here. But with 2 Mega Knights, he's not going to get that much. And we can lightning everything here. We'll take out the baby dragon, the Night Witch, and then almost kill the other baby dragon. I have to say, that actually was a pretty good push on his end. He got quite a lot of damage. I'm going to go bandit here with the queen. He's going to... Oh, wow, he actually lightnings it. I thought he was going to go for a cage, so he did overcommit and spend 1 elixir, which is great for me, of course. So we can just go for a ghost and a Ramrider, I think, and then try to get back to another lightning for the cage. I don't think we'll be able to, but at least we're pressuring here. And yeah, he even barbell too, so he spent a ton of elixir just to counter that, which is, of course, preventing him from going in for a golem push. So I guess we'll just go for a bandit here. And he's in golem in the lane I'm going in. Very interesting. So I'm going to let him get a little bit of damage. I don't mind him getting damage in the other lane. I'll just make sure to go for queen high up so he can't hit the tower. And, okay, he hits the ghost. That's fine. So we'll just Ramrider here to help take out the baby dragon. And this is a really close game. I'm completely unsure at this point who's going to, yeah, win. That Ice Wizard's at 1 HP. That's kind of annoying. We can just go Electro Spirit here to counter the Bar Barrel. And I guess we could actually Queen in the left lane. I think that's fine. Oh, it might help take care of the... Oh, wow. He's going to Golem on defense. Okay. So let's get a Lightning here. We can hit the Tower, the Brawler, and the Ice Wizard. Do I get the Ramrider to the Tower? Oh, he just NATO'd. I don't think he needed that. It wouldn't have made it anyway. So definitely kind of a overexpenditure there on defense. Just do this. He's going to Lightning, so we'll definitely go Ramrider to pressure because the Mega Knight is tanking for that really nicely. And then we could just Snowball to push that back. And then I guess we could go for a Lightning here. Okay, yeah, we will... Oh, yeah, get the Ramrider to connect, and that should be game. Very close game. It kind of went back and forth the whole time. We got all that damage at the beginning, and then he got some with the Golem, but in the end, we're going to be able to get it because his Lightning will not be able to put him in the lead, especially with the Snowball. There's no chance. You can see kind of close, but we have a lead by a couple hundred there. And yeah, Golem can be a little tricky. It's kind of like Electro Giant. You have to be really careful when you're defending, obviously, because the Lightning is a really good answer to your Queen, so you have to really watch out where you're playing it. You do not want to play it next to the Tower and give them free Lightning value. That is the complete opposite of what you want, and we made sure not to do that. So in our next match here, I'm going to have Ghost in our starting hand, which is going to be a pretty good starting play. And I guess we could just play it in the back in a couple seconds if he's not going to do anything. Okay, perfect. That makes things even easier. We can just play it to counter that. That's why it's always good to wait a couple seconds, because sometimes your opponent is anxious to start things off right away. So we'll just go Electro Spirit here to pair with it. He's going to have a Miner. So maybe it's similar to the Mortar deck I played against in Game 1, but maybe it's a different variation, or it's just something completely different. Night Witch again, but this time definitely not going to be Golem if he's using Miner. It's Giant, okay. Giant Miner, not something I see a lot of at all. Definitely recently have not seen much of it. Oh, okay, I think that Mega Knight I maybe could have played to play on both the Night Witch and the Giant. Didn't make it happen there, but anyway, so he's going to have just kind of a Giant bait deck, okay, with Minions, Baby Dragon Miner, certainly off meta. And there's, I believe, 1 or 2 cards he hasn't used yet. I mean, you got to imagine it's probably spells. I bet he probably has, like, a Fireball or something. I mean, maybe he's got, like, a Lightning or a Poison. I highly doubt it, though, because I feel like Lightning doesn't really synergize with Giant that well, but you never know. I think I'll just go Electro Spirit and then Bandit at the bridge, just because I'm full on Elixir. And he's going to go Night Witch. Okay, I'm fine with that. Does he Giant in front? I highly doubt he would, but you never know. Oh my, he played a Giant behind it. Okay, I don't know about that. That's rather interesting, I would say. So I'm just going to go Queen at this point, and we're going to get an amazing counter push. I bet you he's going to regret doing that, because he just committed all of his Elixir. I don't know what he could possibly have that is going to defend this push in this situation. I'm going to tell you guys that right now. I feel like he's just... He's done at this point, right? I mean, yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. Like, I knew right when he played that Giant, I was like, what are you doing? Because, first of all, it was behind the Night Witch. You know, last I checked, you want to play it in front, and he screwed that up. So, I kind of knew it was going to be bad news for him, and sure enough, that's what happened. To be fair, though, is I would say, just a pretty good matchup for me, because how is he supposed to defend our pushes and break through? I just think Giant Miner's pretty weak right now overall, especially if you're not using it with Giant Double Prince. Giant Double Prince would actually be way harder for me to defend, because the Prince does really good against, you know, the Ghost and the Bandit, but all these swarmy cards just give my Electro Spirit and Snowball just infinite value at that point. So they're going to be GG, no way he can take the tower. He's going to try to go for some Desperation push. I feel like at this point I should just go Mega Knight just to tank for it, and there's no way that is gonna, you know, get through the Mega Knight because it's got a lot of hit points, and yeah, it's going to be GG. Pretty easy win. Kind of a mistake from him though. Like, if he maybe just waited a little bit, was more passive, you know, and didn't go for that Giant aggressively, maybe just played it in the back and tried to, you know, wait for an opportunity to go in, he would have had a chance, but, you know, either way, we probably would have been fine. In our next one here against Prince, so we'll go ahead and give him good luck, and we have, you know, a good starting hand to make the first play, like if we want to. I mean, Snowball's fine to cycle. I'm definitely going to do that with him cycling Log. I mean, why not? He's going to go for an Electro Spirit. I'm almost tempted to wait and just... Okay, I'm not going to wait. I was thinking of waiting and activating the King Tower, but I'm not going to do that since he, you know, played a Dark Prince. I think it would be risky to wait that long for him to, you know, build a push. Dark Prince and Lightning and E-Spirit, my guess would be RG, but I don't know for sure. Now, as a lot of you guys probably know, since I haven't been uploading a lot of RG videos, I don't think RG is good at all in this meta. Almost no one used it to finish top 100 last season, and no one has finished top 10 with it the last couple months. It's a lot worse in this current meta, because champions don't have good synergy with it. But with that being said, I will say this deck has a little bit of a struggle against RG, just because this deck, it doesn't have P.E.K.K.A, right? It doesn't really have high DPS for the Mega Knight, right? So this does struggle a little bit against RG, I got to admit. So, I mean, even if I lose, I know people are going to be like, oh, I thought you said RG was bad, but like in the meta, which it still is, it's just this specific matchup is not that great. At least from my own experience of playing it a few times. So it's probably one of the only matchups where RG is actually, like, has the counter in this meta. Because P.E.K.K.A Golden Knight, that wrecks RG and, you know, Royal Hog decks, and those are, like, everywhere right now. So, see what he does here. I think I'm just gonna... I have to keep playing Queens at the bridge even more often in this matchup than the Golem one, just because that... The fact he's got Lightning, I gotta be so cautious about that. So we'll go Mega Knight here. And go Ghost in front. This might be my first push opportunity. We just gotta... Okay, let's actually Ram Rider in the... Yeah, this is perfect. In the left lane, because we have the Mega Knight tanking. Try to space everything out so he's unable to lightning both, you know, everything. Okay, so Queen activation gonna come in, gonna take out the Fisherman, which is great, and then lock on the tower. Okay, this is looking very good for us. These queens at the bridge are very smart. They're exactly what you want to do in this type of matchup. So he just said oops there. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's because he just gave me a free lightning. So I'm definitely going to go ahead and take that because I'm hitting the tower. So why not? I mean, it's a 6 for 5 trade in double elixir. I mean, you know I'm going to take it at that point. So I'm going to go queen here. And he might lightning it. I'm not sure. Yeah, he is. So I kind of just gave him a free lightning. The only difference, though, is I haven't taken as much damage on my tower. So it's probably not as bad for me. I'm going to cycle a Mega Knight in the back here. He's going to go Fisherman. So I got to go defensive Ram Rider. I feel like this match is going really well for me. Maybe it's not... It's either not as bad as I thought it was, or I'm just playing pretty well, you know, maybe getting lucky. But we'll see. Okay, that's a great lightning for me. Obviously going to have to take that. We're going to go for queen here. I don't know if he's going to lightning it. I guess we'll see. Maybe he does, because the Mega Knight's still up. Yeah, he did. Not surprised. It was definitely tempting for him to do that. So we just have to try to maintain our lead here, and we'll be fine. I think I'm going to do kind of like an interesting push here. We go like Bandit and Mega Knight in front, though, to protect it. And then probably Electro Spirit here just to slow down that Dark Prince so it doesn't charge. And then really want to try to get a good lightning here if I can. Hitting the queen especially. And now he might go in for a push. I'm going to have to try to go for maybe like a defensive Ram Rider. I'm very surprised this guy hasn't been playing RGs. Actually, the way the RG player wins this matchup is by playing a lot of RGs, because it usually gets a hit or two every time, especially in single elixir. But you can see, even in triple elixir, he's getting damage, and that's why this matchup is not easy at all for me, and that's why I've lost it like several times. But the problem is, I feel like this guy didn't pressure very well earlier on in the game, and as a result, because he's behind so much, it's kind of too late at this point. But single and double elixir, the RG player can get a lot of RG hits, and then oftentimes the bridge pan player can't come back. But felt like I played that pretty well. Maybe we got a little lucky with our cycle and how the flow of that game went, but we managed to win the matchup, so pretty happy about that. And yeah, we continue, you know, our nice little win streak here. So I'd say we'll probably play, I don't know, 1 or 2 more games. We'll see how quick this next one is. So in a game here against Alperin, so you guys, I don't know if you guys know who this guy is. He's a very good Expo player. He actually has finished 6th in the world with Expo, which is actually, you know, I guess I'm kind of firing some shots at Bestinay here, but a lot of people think Bestinay is the best Expo player in the world, but actually, this guy's finished 6th in the world with, I believe it was 2.9 Expo. It was about a year ago, so some of you guys might forget, but he's pretty insane with Expo. So we're going to go ahead and lightning that there. And I guess we can activate the... And he's not using Expo. Well, I guess there's... okay, that's... I'm kind of surprised he's not using Expo. Guess he's trying something new because it is early season, and you can see definitely not as good with Hog as he is with Expo, because he already lost a huge chunk of his tower. Anyway, he's using the Queen as well, so... This is not an optimal cycle for me. I'm going to have to go defensive Ram Rider here. It actually, as a last resort, is... I was going to say pretty good, but clearly pretty bad. So Ghost here at the bridge. Goes Log and then Skeletons. Snowball just to slow down the tower. If that Ghost can just get... Oh my gosh. I was hoping it would get one more shot, because then the tower would be... in... Oh, nice. Okay, perfect. He got the Valk down late anyway, so still we got the tower, and I would say we're in a decent situation, considering... I feel like against Hog, a 2-tower game isn't... Actually, I don't know, to be honest. I really don't know who has the advantage at this point. I mean, we have the damage lead, so, you know, I would assume... it would at least be somewhat decent for us, but I don't know. Interesting queen, because I can just... Yeah, that was not a good queen by him. Yeah, he's even calling the good game, so maybe it is pretty good for me at this point in the situation, but, you know, let's try not to overthink it. We still, of course, have to focus. So just defensive Ram Rider here, Ghost on top of the Hog, and then I'll Bandit to pressure. He's got kind of 2 lanes to worry about, and he doesn't have the Skellies in hand, so wow, he has to go Tesla just to defend it. That's pretty unfortunate for him. If he's got a Lightning, I'm shocked he hasn't used it at this point in the game because it's so good against the Queen, and if he's got Earthquake, it gets no value. That's like a different story, but if he does have a Lightning and he hasn't used it, that is very, very interesting. I think I'm just going to Ram Rider in the back and then maybe try to Lightning the Tesla if he drops it next to the tower, just because, you know, it's our opportunity to get some... Yeah, he is, so that's perfect. I was wondering if he was going to play it too high up, but luckily he played it low. And he already used the Queen activation, so I don't have to worry there. And yeah, still no usage or sign of a spell coming out from him. I could snowball that Hog. Okay, so yeah, he does have an Earthquake, so that completely explains why he's been struggling. Queen is going to be in the pocket. He does log, but it's still going to... Oh, wow, I thought it was actually going to get one more shot, and then that would have been GG right then and there. Snowball the Queen back, just go for a Bandit here. And yeah, that's pretty much going to be GG, because at this point, all I got to do is Lightning, because he's ignoring that Mega Knight. So that's it. GG. Yeah, pretty easy matchup, I would say, because... Well, you know, like I've already said, with him having Earthquake instead of Lightning, it makes things a lot easier. But yeah, let me show you his profile. I'm not lying when I said he's finished. I'm hoping it's on this account so I don't look like an idiot. But he has finished 6th in the world with Expo. Yeah, and as you can see, best season, 6th. So, in my opinion, one of the best Expo players in the whole game. Probably, you know, him, it's either probably him or Betfist, who I would say the best Expo player is right now. Okay, final match here against Lotso. So we'll see if we could go undefeated this video. This will definitely be the last match no matter what. I think it's the 6th game now at this point. So we could start with a snowball just to, you know, kick things off here. Pretty, you know, safe open. And he's not going to do anything. So I'm going to Ghost too. And if he still doesn't do anything, by the time I get 10 Elixir, I would probably go Ram Rider. Okay, so he's got Valkyrie. I'll probably just go Queen at the bridge. Valkyrie typically means it's... yeah, I was going to say, like, usually Hog or some type of control deck, so it's going to be Graveyard. I know I could have activated the Queen's ability, but I think since it was 1 health away from dying, it would have been worth it. It's usually, in that situation, not... I guess worth it, but I'm going to go Mega Knight here. It's kind of a decent time to do it because he doesn't have the Valkyrie in cycle. We just got to watch out for a potential Graveyard he was going to play, because that would have been a little scary. I would have probably had to go for a defensive Ram Rider or something, but usually most Graveyard players, especially good ones, won't be overly aggressive in single Elixir because they know it can end up punishing them. So oftentimes you won't, sometimes Graveyard players won't even go for a Graveyard until double. It of course depends on the situation, but unless they're up like a bunch of Elixir, they usually wait until double or triple. And I'm going to go Ghost, and then I might Ram Rider here, because by the time I play it, the Tombstone's going to be dead, and he could potentially have a hard time defending here if I snowball that away. Ghost is incoming, and that locks on the tower. Okay, so good damage, but the only issue now is if he goes for a Graveyard. I'm actually going to... Is that Valkyrie going to splash the... yeah, I guess it's alright. We still have the lead, but yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. Could have maybe just played it on the Valkyrie instead of worrying about the Ice Wizard, but it's alright, I guess. So Electric Spirit gets decent value. Honestly, that wasn't as good as I thought it would be. Probably would have been better to play it a little later, but yeah, as you can see, I mean, defensive Graveyard is not horrible, honestly, against Mega Knight. It's even better against something like P.E.K.K.A, though, obviously. So, probably Mega Knight here to tank for the Baby Dragon. And he still hasn't played an offensive Graveyard yet. You see, being very patient, waiting until double Elixir. So I'm just going to go for, I guess, a Lightning here. I know we're not hitting the tower, but that's still a lot of value. Now he won't have anything to counter push with and go for a Graveyard, but we've barely dealt any damage to his tower, so I would say this is still not looking great for me because Graveyard is amazing in triple elixir. Just a couple Graveyards can accumulate so much damage if you're not careful, and that's kind of my concern right now. We might have to try to just go for a Mega Knight in the back and build up a push. Perfect timing because he just went Valkyrie in the back, so now he can't play it at the bridge and, you know, go for a Graveyard. So Ram Rider here's fine. And... Bandit other lane? Yeah, we're not really getting anything to happen here, are we? Snowball this. Uh-oh. Yeah, this might be GG. Because that baby dragon lock is huge for him. It's good lightning, though. I'm definitely going to take that. I think this is probably it, though. I think this is going to be GG. At least I think it is. You know, if something crazy happens and we win, then let's go. But got the damage lead, so at this point he just needs a couple good defenses and then we're done for. We're catching up, but I feel like if he just goes for, yeah, I was going to say like a Graveyard, even on its own, it's just so challenging for me to defend because I don't have any splash except the Mega Knight, but I mean that's like 7 elixir just for defending a Graveyard, so it's not optimal, clearly. And this is our last chance here. I don't think any throw is going to happen. So, yeah, that is going to be GG. He played pretty well. I mean, and I've actually played against this guy before a couple times. He, you know, normally plays Splash Shard, and he's pretty good with it. So, you know, no shame losing to him. I don't even know what that matchup is, to be honest. I don't even think it's horrible, but it's definitely not easy just because the Graveyard, as you saw, you know, when they have good defense and I don't get enough damage early on in the game, the Graveyard will catch up and, you know, eventually surpass you. Maybe I could have, like, blocked the bridge so he wasn't able to go for those Graveyard pushes, maybe with, like, a high Mega Knight or something, so the Baby Dragon didn't cross, but either way, I guess it was a good game to end off of for it being, yeah, the only loss in the video. Make sure to like if you guys did end up enjoying the video, though. We end the video, I think, like, wait, higher than I started? I don't even remember where I started the video, but yeah, there were a couple games, like, losses I had that I didn't really show just because they were kind of, like, I don't know, they were kind of lame, or it was because it was literally the first game of the video, but yeah, I think the loss we ended off with was good, but yeah, that's gonna be it. Make sure to subscribe if you guys aren't subscribed already, and thanks again until next time, guys.